Heyo and welcome to a video where we review the first few days of Season of the Arrivals, the new Destiny season. The season just came out a few days ago and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on it. Spoilers alert, it's mostly positive, honestly. So we're going to break this into four different sections. The story, the public event, the new loot system, and the dungeon. I'll talk about the dungeon a bit more when I get to it, but there will be a full dungeon review coming out sometime after I complete it. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
Savathun's influence over the cradle grows. Retake the tree of silver wings.
So the first point I want to talk about is the narrative or story of Season of the Arrivals. Now, I'm no lore genius, I'm no Bife, but I'm just going to explain it from my context and how I see things. Uh, first off, this is a big step up from Season of the Worthy because I'm actually interested. It's finally a continuation on Shadowkeep. We actually get to see the pyramids, which is cool. I'm glad we get that. The initial story mission when we first spawn in is really good, at least from a sort of world building perspective. Zavala and Eris arguing in the office is a really cool cutscene. I like the comparison between Ikora and Zavala. They both do the stands, but in two very different perspectives. It's a much more interesting premise, anyway, this season. The story missions so far have been very good. The second one in particular, the one that I have gameplay on in the background, is similar to a sort of mini strike I've seen people compare to, and I understand why, because it's difficult enough, but it's a fun mission. Also, I had no idea, but Nokris was back. That's pretty fucking cool. Like, fucking Nokris is just chilling in the fucking story mission. How awesome is that? Like, you don't see him, but you hear him. So, like, he's fucking back. They released a lore card about how he's still alive somehow, so that's pretty fucking cool. They're not gonna waste Nokris again. Overall, I'm very hopeful for this season's sort of narrative going forward. The first few days have got me interested, so let's hope it keeps up. One flaw would be if the story mission didn't change weekly, but I believe it's on a 3-week rotation, similar to the Dreaming City. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but only time will tell. But otherwise, yeah, the story's got me intrigued. I'm very interested in seeing where it goes. So far, it's way better than Season of the Worthy, on par with at least Season of the Dawn. And yeah, let's get on to the next section. Okay, so they added a new engram in this season, and it's basically the obelisks but portable, because the more you upgrade, the better your loot and the better of an option you have between your loot, which is pretty fucking cool. And the upgrade process has been more streamlined because they've had a lot of practice with it now. We've had 3 seasons of upgrading like this, so they've had a lot of practice. It's very streamlined. You upgrade the thing, you get your perk. Your perk helps you with the upgrade. Your perk helps you get better weapons and armor and more control over what you get. It's a very basic premise at this point, but it works. It gives players control, but there's still RNG. It gives players the ability to really invest into the area that they want. Plus, we get to hear the Drifter talk every now and then. He's pretty fucking funny. Um, you can buy mods at this new upgrade station. You can collect your engrams here. You can upgrade. You use twisted energy to upgrade, and then altering energy to
Putting this thing together was
craft
easy.
a specific
Getting
weapon.
it to record my
I find the
voice
grind for
was
this
the
much
hard
more
part.
enjoyable because you just do 2 bounties a week. You level up on each of your characters, and then that's it. You've got your grind for that week done. Alright, let's go on to the next section where we will talk about the public event. So, Season of the Arrival adds a new public event. The public event is called Contact, I believe, and believe it or not, it's actually quite enjoyable. It's 10 billion times better than the fucking Seraph Towers. I hated them, but I can actually run Contact without wanting to fucking off myself. So there's an improvement, Bungie. But this mode inherently has a problem because it's a public event, which requires instances to load in people instead of a match-made event where you would be able to join with your friends or like match-make with 6 different people to be able to complete the event easier. You can rely on the now game to sort you into a group of people. The event itself is easier to understand, but a bit harder to execute due to power levels at the moment compared to Seraph Towers because everyone's really low, so the enemies are hitting a lot harder. But as power levels grow throughout the season, I say this event's going to be really easy. It's going to be very farmable. The heroic is simple enough. I actually really enjoy it in the gameplay I have in the background. We actually complete the heroic. It's the first time I complete the heroic. I had a really good team that actually knew what the fuck they were doing. Yeah, this event is definitely a step up from Seraph Towers, but I'd rather something more like Sundial, to be honest, if we're going to continue down the season route. Alright, lastly we're going to talk about the dungeon. Okay, so I'm way too low of a light to complete the dungeon. As you can see from the gameplay, I just constantly died when I tried to get gameplay. When I had a team of 3 with my clan, we managed to get to the first boss. We understand the encounters, and from what I understand, it's very fun. But I haven't actually completed it, so I don't feel like it's right to give my opinion on it just yet. From what I've played, it's very fun, and the environmental is very impressive, but I can't give an opinion on it just yet. That's why I'm going to make a full review when I finally finish the dungeon, probably this week or next week. So we'll look out for that. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Season of the Arrivals. I think it's a step up from Season of the Worry, and I think it could be a very successful season. If you liked the video. If you disagree, tell me in the comments below why you disagreed. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot, and I hope to see you in the next Destiny video.